In the summer of 1518, a woman in Strasbourg stepped into the streets and began to dance. She didn't stop. Within a week, dozens of others had joined her, dancing without rest, without explanation. Some until they collapsed from exhaustion. Some, according to records from the time, danced until they died. It started with a single woman, known to history as Frau Trafia. She began dancing in the street with no music, no celebration, no clear reason. City authorities and physicians of the time were baffled but not alarmed at first. Within days, 30 more people had joined her. Within a month, historical records suggest the number had grown to around 400 people, all dancing uncontrollably through the streets of the city. Strasbourg's authorities, believing the dancing was a physical ailment that needed to run its course, made a decision that, in hindsight, likely made everything worse. They built a stage, hired musicians, and even brought in professional dancers, believing the afflicted needed to dance the sickness out of their systems. Instead of stopping, the dancing intensified. Reports from the period describe people dancing until their feet bled, until they collapsed, and in some accounts, until they died of heart attacks, strokes, or sheer exhaustion. Historians have debated the cause for centuries. One prominent theory points to ergot poisoning, a toxic mold that grows on damp rye, capable of causing hallucinations and involuntary muscle spasms. But this theory struggles to explain the scale and duration of the event, since ergot poisoning typically doesn't produce coordinated, sustained dancing across hundreds of people for weeks. A more widely accepted modern theory is mass psychogenic illness, a stress-induced involuntary group response triggered by the extreme conditions Strasbourg's citizens were living under that year: famine, disease, and crushing social hardship. 1518 was a brutal year for the region. Crop failures, smallpox outbreaks, and severe famine had pushed the population to a breaking point. Historians studying the events note that the psychological toll of that level of sustained suffering could plausibly manifest as an uncontrollable physical response, especially in a culture that already held strong beliefs about curses, possession, and divine punishment. In that context, one person's breakdown may have triggered a chain reaction others' minds and bodies mirrored involuntarily. The dancing plague eventually subsided by early September. Roughly 2 months after it began, authorities moved the remaining dancers to a shrine dedicated to a saint associated with curing such afflictions, and the epidemic faded out much as mysteriously as it started. No definitive medical or scientific explanation has ever been universally agreed upon. 500 years later, we still don't fully understand what made hundreds of people dance until their bodies gave out. What we do know is this: sometimes the human mind, pushed far enough, finds ways to break that defy explanation, and in the summer of 1518, an entire city watched it happen in real time.